Yo, what up YouTube? It's your boy AM coming to you with an AM vlog. Today's vlog is going to be pretty cool because what I'll be doing is showing you my uniform for 2022. And a lot of people say, why do you want to wear a uniform? I got into minimalism about 6 months ago, just looking at ways to kind of improve the way you live. And so you can kind of inspire more happiness in your life, as well as creativity and various things. And while I'm doing this minimalist research, I came across something that interests me quite a bit. There's a thing called Project 333, and what that does is kind of a way to limit how much clothes you have by only having 33 articles of clothing within 3 months. And I mean, you can just definitely do a YouTube search or even a Google search on the Project 333 and you can kind of get more information about it. But what it does is for 3 months you only can have 33 articles of clothes. That counts as your shoes, your belt, your hats, and your pants and whatever. And so the idea of that is to reduce what you own and just focus on a specific group of clothing. It prevents you from buying something for one season or only wearing it a couple times and then just leaving it in your closet. And so it's just whole idea of just downsizing your personal possessions. And clothing is one of the things that people kind of tend to splurge a little bit more into. And then I started reading about famous people that wear uniforms. Basically they just have one signature look. Steve Jobs, everybody knows him with his black turtleneck, his mom jeans, and his New Balance shoes. Mark Zuckerberg, he wears a gray t-shirt and one particular outfit all the time. Albert Einstein only had a few three-piece suits that he wore regularly. And Barack Obama himself, he only wears a blue suit with a couple of ties, and that's pretty much it. And so the idea of having a uniform, there's a lot of benefits to it. One of the things is that if you make a lot of decisions throughout the day, if you can reduce the decision-making process, you will have less anxiety in your life, and then you're able to kind of have less stress because of it. Because when you wake up, you automatically know what you're going to wear, and so you don't have to fret over it. And there's also the concept of time. If you try on clothes and try different outfits and different combinations, you may end up wasting 15 minutes, 30 minutes, and that adds up. When you have a uniform, you just throw the clothes on, and you know what you're automatically going to wear, and then you're just good to go. There's no, the decision making process is taken out of it. And so over time that you spent deciding what to wear ends up just becoming that's the time saved that you can use for other things. And so that's what I want to do. And so today I'm going to show you what I end up landing on. It was a bit of a journey because I'm trying to find the perfect outfit that I feel really comfortable in and really happy. Growing up in my area where I grew up in, which was in Cameron, Arizona, everybody wears black. And so I kind of want to continue doing that and kind of an homage to them. Right now I'm in the Pacific Northwest in the Portland, Vancouver area, and people here don't typically wear black. They tend to wear earth tones, a lot of greens, a lot of browns, those types of things. Very kind of outdoorsy type of wear. Wearing black here is kind of being different because not a lot of people do. And so that's what kind of inspired me into the uniform that I'm trying to do. And so I'm going to go over each piece and kind of let you know what I think and where I'm at the moment. So the first thing I needed to do was find a top that worked really, really well. And so what I ended up getting was this t-shirt that I found. It's made from, well, I guess it's made by this company called Into the AM. And the reason why I like it is because it has a little AM right here on the nipple. And so if I wear this, I have my own initials on the shirt, which is cool. And I was already planning on wearing a lot of black in what I wear for various reasons. One is an homage to where I come from. Second, black looks a little bit more slimmy, which is also a plus. And I personally like black. I think it's cool. So this is what is going to be my first article of clothing. So I end up buying 6 shirts, and then I also got some free black shirts from family, which is pretty awesome. So that just adds to my collection. So when I dig into my closet, the shirt that I typically will go for will be one of these things, and the price of these shirts are pretty cheap actually. So like, I mean, per shirt I think it comes up to like $12 per shirt. So like replacing them is not like a huge, you know, money sink. It's just like, you know, you can buy a pack of 3 for $35, which is not too bad. So that's what I'm going to be wearing on the top. And then on the bottom, this is kind of where I'm still in the process of looking for pants that will kind of match this uniform. And so one of the things I wanted to do is not just to have one singular look, but just kind of like vary it, because another thing that I also wanted to do was that I wanted to be able to look like I have changed my clothes, because for whatever reason, I also I'm a big fan of cleanliness, and some people can wear one thing for like a whole week. I personally can't, so I'm gonna be like cycling through my clothing, but I also want to be able to, like, you know, change just one thing so it doesn't make a big difference. And so what I ended up doing was getting these Old Navy pants, and so I got them in 3 different colors, which I recycle, which I'll go through throughout the whole week. So I have black, I have gray, and then I have this like a brown khaki color. For the most part, these pants, I do like them, but they're not, you know, I'm not 100% sold on them. One of the things that I had the biggest gripe is that they wrinkle pretty easily. So like after you wash them and then you hang them up and you fold them and you put them in your closet, then you undo them, they tend to get wrinkled pretty fast. And so I want to find something that may be a little bit thicker, or something that can hold its crease a lot longer. Not crease, but just to hold its, you know, shape a lot longer so it doesn't wrinkle as fast. So that's kind of basically like the overall fit for my uniform for 2022. I'm probably going to continue this into 2023, but it's just, you know, this is typically, you know, what I wear, and then I'll just switch out the pants as I go along per day. Something that I found was these Stan socks, which I became a really big fan of. These socks are probably like one of the best socks you can get. For me personally, they're like a nice amount of cushion versus thickness. And so a lot of times you'll buy a sock and they feel really comfortable, but they're really thick. And then your feet tends to heat up. And for me, I'm not like a big fan of really hot feet. Some people love it, not me. I like to have it at the perfect temperature, but these socks work really, really well. In the winter, they keep my feet warm. In the summer, they keep my feet cool. So I don't have to change them, and they're really comfortable, and they last a long, long time. These are on pretty much on the expensive side, but overall, I have been really, really, really satisfied with it. This is probably one of the things that I'm like 100% happy with, as long with this shirt. And then the last thing of my whole fit, my uniform, is the shoes. And so I found these Vessi shoes. I saw like all through Instagram and on social media and things like that. And one of the biggest selling features is that they're waterproof. And being in the Pacific Northwest, you know, it rains 9 months out of the year, and so having good shoes that repel water is like necessary. Growing up, I always loved black shoes. I think those are the coolest looking shoes you can get. And one of the criteria that I have when I buy shoes is I don't like white soles. And so if I can find a shoe that doesn't have a white sole, that's like a plus. And it's hard. Like Nikes, for the most part, they always have white soles in their shoes. I don't know why, but they do. I know I can go with a brown, I can go with a gray, whatever the case may be, but for me, it can't be white. And so if you ever see me with white soles, it's a fluke. And so I always pick shoes out for that reason. I used to wear like, you know, just all black Vans because I thought those were the coolest looking shoes you can get. But you know, Vans are not waterproof. But I found these, I tried them, and they're really comfortable and they're waterproof. So like, I'm all set on these shoes. And so going forward, this is going to be the official shoe of AMPM Adventures, or I guess for AM, because I don't know what PM likes in terms of shoes, but I've been a big fan of them. The cool thing about them is they have this like weird kind of like, you know, repellent on the fabric, and so they don't really tie up. They have like a lace here, but typically you just like slide them into it, which is also pretty awesome because you don't have to like tie shoes. One thing about me, I'm a terrible shoe tire. Like if my shoelaces come on tied, I'll tie them up, and then they come untied like 10 minutes later, 15 minutes later. And so I end up just like having PM tie my shoes because she's really good at it. I'm not. But with these shoes, I just slip them on and off and I'm good to go. You know, they have this like really stretchy fit. And another cool thing is they're starting to make all different types of shoes, so I don't have to just wear, you know, the typical like skater shoe. I can actually get like, you know, more an athletic shoe, and then they're starting to make like boots and things like that. And so, you know, I can expand my uniform a little bit when it comes to the footwear, but for the most part, you know, I've always been a fan of like the Van style, the flat-footed shoe, and this is kind of like exactly what I like. And also another thing that I think is really cool is that the bottom is two-tone on the sole. So even though like you probably will not see the bottom, but it's cool that you know, if I like will flip it like this and you can see it's like not just one color, it's like two different things. Like subtle things like that are pretty awesome. Like right here, it's like outside, so like I blew it right there. And that's pretty much it for my uniform for 2022. I think it's gonna be a great experiment to do, and also allows me to like, you know, have less stress in my life. I'll have more time, and I'll have all the benefits of minimalism. I typically wear this sweater in the videos, and the reason why I do that is because one, it's just, you know, when I have to get in front of the camera, all I have to do is put the sweater on and I'm good to go. I don't even have to like change my clothes or anything like that. Second thing is, it's like a signature look, and that's what I'm kind of going for with this whole uniform too. So if you see me like wearing this whole outfit, you're like, oh, that's like, you know, AM over there. And same thing when you watch the videos, you see this red sweater, you know, that's AM in the video. So that's kind of like the reason why I kind of be really intentional when I'm wearing my outfits and making this uniform, is because there's like, you know, bits and pieces that kind of all fit together that make it that brings that joy to you, and also like, you know, gives you the added benefits as well. And so when you watch these videos, you know, red sweaters, sometimes I'll just like, you know, wear my underwear and then just put a sweater on, and that's kind of like a inside baseball for all of the day night gang, because you know, you don't see anything else except for the sweater, and then that's pretty much it. And you know, that whole idea I'm putting into my wardrobe for 2022, and I think it's gonna be pretty cool. I'm really excited. It's not 100% complete because I'm still on the mission of finding the perfect pants. I like these Old Navy pants. They're pretty cheap. They come in about $20 if you find them on sale. But like I said, they're like, you know, pretty wrinkly. Like you can see right here, it's like, you know, pretty wrinkly. Another thing that I didn't show in this is that I'm also looking for a belt. I typically wear belts with all my outfits because I think that look looks pretty cool. Some people don't, but I prefer it. It's not necessarily because I need to hold my pants up. It's just for aesthetics. And so it's just finding a belt that's made out of real leather, that's not too thick or thin, and that has a good buckle on it. It's really hard to find like a good belt. So I'm still on the look for that. I'm using this Old Navy belt that I found. I'm not really happy with it, so I'm not going to show it, but I'm still trying to find something that's like, you know, great. And if it costs a little more, I'm okay with that, because belts if you find a good belt, it tends to last for a long time. The previous belt that I've owned, I had it for like, I don't know, 10 years. And then it got to the point where it was just like, kind of like, you know, looking pretty grody and falling apart, and so I end up buying that Old Navy belt. But you know, the search continues. When I find it, maybe I'll do a follow-up video on my uniform to show you, you know, all the final pieces of like, you know, what I consider to be the perfect outfit for AM. Other than that, if you liked the video, be sure to give it a thumbs up. If you love it, hit the sub button, and let me know in the comments if you're down on doing, you know, a uniform for yourself. I think it's, you know, the benefits and having a signature look kind of outweigh of having like this really cool like collection. I think that's pretty much it. Other than that, I give you a big fat peace.